Yeon-seok admits he loves Chae Soo-bin in the Americas, can't be cold to her. Picture this, a packed fan meeting in Buenos Aires, the lights dim, and the audience leans forward because they know they're about to hear something personal. And then Yeon-seok, with that familiar gentle grin, drops a confession that sounds suspiciously like a romantic spoiler. If you clicked on this video for gossip, you'll get it. If you came for the human, you'll get that too. Either way, the latest clip on Spotlight gives us a delicious mix of actorly insight, unexpected tenderness, and just enough to make even the most cynical K-drama hater crack a smile. The scene opens at the Yeon-seok in Buenos Aires, yes, an overseas fan meeting. That somehow makes everything feel both intimate and cinematic. The MC, doing the job of every perfectly timed interviewer ever, asks what a lot of fans have been whispering. Is Yeon-seok's real personality very different from Big Yeon? Did you face any challenges getting into the role? A harmless question on paper. But what follows is adorable, oddly philosophical, and very telling. Yeon-seok's answer is the kind of straight talk that doubles as a confession. Acting for more than 20 years, he says, has taught him how to build the characters' walls and show the cool exterior audiences expect. Yet there's one wall he finds nearly impossible to erect on cue. Being cold to his on-screen wife. Hee-ju, played by Chae Soo-bin. He pauses, smiles that sheepish smile of someone caught admitting a secret, and confesses that while filming, he would think, am I being too harsh to my wife? Is this really okay? The sentence lands like a soft punchline, a seasoned professional, reduced to internal moral debates by the thought of treating his fictional spouse badly. Why is that so funny and so strangely heartwarming? Because Yeon-seok, the actor who can command a scene with a look, reveals a private honesty, off camera. He's apparently the kind of person who dotes on his partner. In the clip, he repeats that he finds it painful to play the emotionally distant husband, to the point where he keeps saying he can't help but feel sorry when Big Yeon, his character's stony alter ego, finally says something sweet to Hee-ju. Yu visibly relaxes. The audience laughs, but the laughter disguises something like relief. Even actors need permission from their characters to show warmth, and when that permission arrived, Yu let go. The comic layer here is subtle. Imagine an actor who's spent 2 decades learning to be convincing in dozens of roles, and yet admits the one thing that trips him up is pretending not to care about his on-screen wife. It's an inversion of the usual tough actor stereotype, and it's impossible not to chuckle at the image of Yeon-seok grimacing in sympathy while delivering icy lines. It's as if his empathy keeps sneaking into the script, undermining Big Yeon's chill, like a rogue rom-com subplot. But beyond the jokes lies an illuminating actor's truth. Great acting often requires emotional truth, not just technique. Yu's dilemma highlights how his real-life affections, the habit of doting on his partner, create a fidelity to emotional realism that he's unwilling to compromise. He's not just playing a character who's cold, he's negotiating the ethics of portraying cruelty convincingly. That internal negotiation, expressed candidly at a fan meeting half a world away from Seoul, is a beautiful reminder that performers are people first, thoughtful, occasionally conflicted, and prone to worrying about the small moral costs of their craft. BS_thou, Asian stars. Spotlight does a neat job here of capturing that duality. The channel's video doesn't just cut to the headline, it builds the little scaffolding around the confession, giving context, laughs, and a chance for fans to see you affably human. There's a kind of delicious voyeurism to watching an actor discuss the mechanics behind a relationship's emotional texture, and the channel leans into that without ever feeling exploitative. The result is content that feels like a backstage pass rather than a tabloid clipping. For fans of Yu and Chae Soo-bin, this clip is the equivalent of finding a letter in a book you've read 100 times. It doesn't change the plot, but it changes how you read every exchange. For casual viewers, it's an unexpectedly sweet sketch of a craftsman doing his job with conscience. And for anyone who likes the idea that love makes even the toughest actors go soft, it's a little confirmation. Yes, even professional stoicism melts under the right circumstances. If there's a takeaway beyond the factor, it's this: acting is an ethical art. Yeon-seok's repeated insistence that he feels bad when he has to be cold to his wife suggests a humility and compassion often missing from celebrity soundbites. He's not seeking praise, he's describing a mental process. And when Baek Sa-yeon eventually offers the tender line to Hee-ju, the video gives us the payoff. The actor's relief, and the audience's delighted approval, all wrapped up in a moment that feels earned rather than engineered. Beyond the on-screen chemistry, fans have been buzzing about some intriguing off-screen hints that keep speculation alive. From subtle glances during interviews to those moments in behind-the-scenes clips, where Yeon-seok seems unusually attentive toward Chae Soo-bin, the internet is full of theories. Some even point to small gestures, a hand lightly guiding her during a scene, or shared laughter that lasts just a beat too long, as proof that their connection might stretch beyond the script. Of course, actors are professionals. But when multiple instances appear over time, it's hard not to let curiosity take over. Even more compelling are the reports from fan meetings and public appearances, where their interactions seem layered with a comfort and ease that goes beyond typical co-star friendliness. Whether it's Yeon-seok subtly checking on her reactions, or Chae Soo-bin responding with a knowing smile, these tiny, almost imperceptible exchanges spark countless discussions online. Fans jokingly call it the silent romance, a series of small but consistent signals that make every shared frame and every candid clip feel like a hint at something deeper, keeping everyone eagerly watching for the next possible confirmation. So, is Yeon-seok in love? The clip doesn't provide a real-life romance reveal that would be headline-grabbing and possibly invasive, but it does give us something arguably better: the image of a man for whom the idea of hurting someone, even fictionally, is a real emotional problem. That's the sort of revelation that turns gossip into affection and curiosity into connection. If you enjoyed this peek behind the scenes, Spotlight has more moments like it, interviews that go beyond PR, Polish fan meetings that feel intimate despite stadium lights, and little human truths that cut through the glamour. Stick around for the next upload. Who knows which actor will admit they can't bear to fake breakfast table fights, or confess they cry at finale read-throughs. These are the kinds of admissions that make stars feel a little closer to us, and a little more human. End scene. The crowd in Buenos Aires applauds. You waves with that modest grin. And somewhere between the chuckles and shared empathy, everyone leaves feeling a touch warmer. If that isn't proof that love, or at least compassion, sells tickets, I don't know what is.